Hey there folks, Muscle Outdoors back to another video today. I just want to do a new series that I was thinking about doing. I'm going to start calling it Woods Talk. So right now I'm out in the woods right now, as you can see. Out in the mountains right now. And today I was just wanting to do a video on I know, like, I'm not a huge, like, conspiracy theorist kind of guy, but I know today I just want to share with you guys my my Bigfoot encounter that I had when I was, well, this is probably 3 years ago, I want to say. So yeah, I know, just a disclaimer, I do believe in Bigfoot. I do believe in some cryptids and stuff like that, but so yeah, I'll just tell you guys about my first Bigfoot encounter here, as I got my small little fire going right now. But so when it was probably about 3 years ago, back home on our property in northern Minnesota. My cousin and I, we were going out on we're just walking on our trails and stuff like that. Yeah, my little cousin came over, and so when we had our property back home, we had about 12 acres of land, and our house was sort of closer to the road that was by our house. And then and then we had our house, and then we had our first field that had like some trees and stuff like that. And then we had a small piece of forest that was that divided our property from our neighbor's property. And then we had trails going around that we mowed every like week or two, something like that, whenever the grass would grow after it rained and stuff like that. And then we would go back. We had another set of field, and then we had like had a lot of like wheat and stuff like that back there. And then we used a lot more when we obviously blazed the trails and stuff like that. And then we had another set of small forest, and then we had a pond back there, and then we had trails going all the way back to our property. So my cousin and I, we were walking back there, back to our back to the very farthest back trail that went almost to the edge of our property. I know a few times before we went out that day, I would get a feeling that something was watching me and that I wasn't supposed to be there. Because I know we've had like bobcats and coyotes and stuff like that on our property, and we had a lot of deer as well. We also had some moose too, but it was nothing that I ever felt before. It was kind of like that I shouldn't be there and that something was watching me. I first got that feeling like a couple weeks before that, and then leading up to that, I'd go out and walk and stuff like that, just to walk our dog and stuff like that. And I always had my revolver on me, my .45 Colt revolver. But so this day we went, it was, I believe, the first week of August, I believe, of 2019. And so we walk out there, we just walking, we're just hanging around, talking and stuff like that. And then we got back to our little section of woods, or little forest that was at the very back end of our property. And then granted, there was somebody that our neighbors had like a small little house back there too, but it was on their property, of course. But yeah, so we went back there, and then we walk into the woods, because there was a little trail that went in there, and we look and we saw two, I want to say not big trees, but they were sort of I want to say medium to smallish, kind of in between there. They were both bent upwards, like both of them were like at like an X, and they kind of went at an angle like this. They went from the ground, they went up like that. So they kind of went like a reverse J sort of, and they were both crossed like an X. And I know that's been kind of like the a Bigfoot tree sign, as they call them. And then about probably 10 to 15 yards from that, so if you're looking at it from my house going back towards the end of our property, it was right here, and then about 10 to 15 yards to the left, we look down and we see a footprint. It was probably about a 12, I want to say about a 12-inch to 13-inch footprint. So in my mind, that could have been a juvenile Sasquatch or a smaller female Sasquatch. But it looked, you could definitely see like the outline of the toes. And it was in the grass. It was like in like the mossy kind of grass area. So, you could definitely tell it was a footprint. And there was, I mean, in my mind, yeah, somebody could have been walking back there, but nobody comes on our property. Because we had game cameras to like watch the coyotes, stuff like that. And our neighbors knew that. So, and the only animals that they had were horses. So that's just what I defaulted to, was a Sasquatch. So, and then about 5 minutes after that, my cousin and I, we got that same feeling that I had when I felt like something was watching me and we weren't supposed to be there. So then we got out there. I took a picture of the footprint. I'll try and put it in the description box below if I can, or I can link it to another video or something like that, or I can try and put it in the video sometime. But yeah, so that was my for like, I guess, encounter, you could say, or some evidence that I saw of Bigfoot. And that, I know in around that, about a year or two before, actually there's actually been quite a few Bigfoot sightings around my area that we lived. There was a sighting about 5 to 6 miles away. There's actually about 3 to 4 around my area in a couple years span. So, and then of course there was also a story from, I believe, the 40s or 50s. It was about 5 miles from my house, 5 to 10 miles away from my house. There was a encounter that's actually pretty well documented. It was called the WhiteFace Monster. It was, WhiteFace is the name of a lake / reservoir that was about 5-10 miles from my house. You can look it up. I'll actually link the article in the description below if you guys want to check that out. It's a really interesting read. It's actually, if you guys know about any of the, if you guys know about the encounter, it was, I believe, in the 40s, late 40s. There was a guy in Manitoba, Canada, that shot a Bigfoot, and then when he was out moose hunting, yeah, by Hudson Bay up there. So I'll link that video. Strange But True Stories has a good video on that. If you guys want to look at that, I'll link his video in the description below. But yeah, so yeah, that was just a encounter that I guess encounter / evidence that I've seen of Bigfoot in my life. And I know you're thinking I'm probably crazy, stuff like that. I mean, you can think whatever you want. I know I do believe that there are things out there in our woods that we don't know about, that the government's keeping from us. I know that's kind of sort of a conspiracy theory, but that's just what I think. I know my friend Prepared Airman, he's actually had a Sasquatch encounter. Maybe I'll have to do like an interview with him sometime, and I can put it on my channel if he's down for that. But yeah, I do believe that some cryptids are real, like Sasquatch, stuff like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next for the next woods talk. I just figured this is my first episode. I figured I'd do something kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, so if you guys are wondering where I'm at right now, I'm up in the mountains. Kind of in the, oh, there's my truck back there, but yeah, I'm in a pretty cool spot back here. There's a little mountain stream that that we're next to right now. It's kind of frozen over, but as you can kind of see, it's right there. And then there's a little hillside up there that my friend Prepared Airman and I climbed up one time. We got up to that peak up there. Yeah, this is the spot that he showed me, and then we camped up here a couple times, or we camped up here once, and I've been liking this spot ever since, so I've kept coming back. But yeah, so if you guys want to see more, if you guys want to maybe hear some more Bigfoot talks or something like that, maybe I can start a new series about that. So let me know what you guys want to see in the comments, what other kind of series you guys want to see. I'll try to put out more of these woods talks as I go on. This will be the first episode, and then I can do some more. And let me know what kind of topics you guys want to see on the next video, the next woods talk. And yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys have a good day, and stay safe out there.